like it's like when I was in high school and like I was like into like punk rock music. I would be like, you want to try to be, you would like to have like the most obscure bands that you liked and nobody else liked,
Right.
and
Like,
you would like gatekeeping, right?
yeah.
It's like that. It's just it's just not the right venue for that when you're doing politics. Politics is about building coalitions and
And
building power. You get more
yes.
people involved, not less, right? And like there's a little bit of give and take, and it's like, yeah, we understand you're not going to like tell me anything new about the environment. Like I know
Mhm.
shit's burning. I understand that, right? Like I don't know. Like I think we need to have a revolution of sorts. Like I don't know what we're going to do in the meantime, but like this is a perfectly viable option to try to push change. Like you just got to get the ball rolling. I feel like that's why I was so impressed with Biden the other night defending
Right.
that position on the oil industry, because you just
Yes.
get the ball rolling. Once you get the initial policies in place, you show people, hey, this is creating jobs, not destroying them. Hey, this is not really interfering with my lifestyle, like all the fear mongering has led me to believe. You just do like you have. It's like with Medicare for all too. It's
Mhm.
like when you show people that like, oh, we can lower the age, or we can add a public option, we can do some stuff, or like even Medicare for all is like you do single payer insurance, and then people will be more receptive to full nationalization, right? You
Yes.
just got to prove to them that it works, because
And
we've
see,
had
and
50 years of politicians doing everything on purpose to make sure it didn't work, right? Like
right.
they've
So
been trying to starve the government since the Reagan years.
so yeah, I wanted to go to Aaron's tweet because I just thought it was a funny quote, but it's not very comradely of you, Mr. Hawkins.
Yeah. And but like that's what, like, Kenzo said it before too. It's like
Yeah.
he doesn't, like, he's not good at politics. He doesn't reach out to people. He doesn't build coalitions. Like he he won't even respond to emails asking him to go on independent media. Like he's
Right.
not doing the
But
job that needs to be done.
right. So I mean, what you said. It makes sense because if you don't give a fuck and you don't think you have any chance to actually get anything done, then who gives a fuck what's in the proposal? Just go hard edge and it doesn't stand a chance in hell, like your presidency, right? So if that's the case, then fuck it. But if you actually think you can get this done, then you prepare in a way that makes sense that you can get something done. Like this has to go and get libs on board. This has to have the votes in order to actually get passed at some point or another. Now, if you don't believe that it can get passed and you just want to go and make a principled stand, then that's on you. That's not the way she's trying to do it, though.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. It's just like I'm saying, I hate to sound like Sean McElwee, and be like, oh, why does the left like refuse to, build coalitions or whatever? But like, you know, this level of like this give and take, I think, is acceptable. It's not like she's saying, oh, we're actually not going to, we're going to cut subsidies instead of getting rid of them altogether. It's like
mhm.
this is an acceptable sacrifice, I feel like, in the meantime.
Right.
Like we're still going to have to do more, but like we just need to get the ball rolling in the right direction. Like
I
whatever we
agree.
can do. We're in such a shitty place right now. Like the country's burning, everybody's out of work. It's a shit show. Nobody has health care. The whole like gig economy is about to collapse. Like all this stuff, we just need to get a few wins just to show people that, hey, like maybe free market capitalism is not the way to go. Maybe we need to have some more planning and government involvement.
Yeah. So
And
so
it's
yeah.
just people are
So
brain
he's
poisoned.
the dude that I think we've kind of we've thought you have pretty had we had a decent opinion of. Actually tweeted as well. We both responded, but um
Who?
Ryan Knight here. We like to go to his tweets. So, AOC did not invent the Green New Deal. The Green Party did in 2006 when they formulated the Green New Deal task force. You co-opted their plan and watered it down to make it friendlier for Wall Street. The real Green New Deal is eco-socialist and better for the planet. Yeah.
Again, it's like, why are you doing that? Like Ryan, I don't understand even more. Like he's, you know, doesn't he like I understand why how he's doing that because he's trying to say that like you know, we're enemies of the Democrats or whatever, right?
Uh-huh.
But like Ryan is, like a supporter of all the lefty, of the squad, right? Like
Right.
those, he's not like partisan by that nature, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like I just think that it's one of those things where it's like silly. It's like you don't. Why would you pick that fight? Like it's silly that Howie did it, and it's silly that Ryan. It's sillier that Ryan did it, and he's not like at least Howie's pointing out distinct differences, right? Like
Right.
I and it's like this thing where he says to make it friendlier for Wall Street. I'd like to know what he's talking about there, but like
I mean, because look, any of those concessions, all right, are any of those concessions gonna make that more Wall Street friendly?
um, I mean, I'm sure there's something in there. I don't know what he's talking about, but
Right.
like
But the ones that you mentioned,
um, well, I think that it's I mean, the timeline,
yeah.
I guess. I mean, I think if there's any kind of concession to Wall Street in there, it's probably about like the funding of it. Like I tell you what I think is going to happen. It's going to end up like Obamacare was to the
Right.
public option, right? It's going to end up just a giveaway to big, investment firms and, financialization. It's going to be just a giveaway to the rich, right? It's going to be, oh, we'll pay this giant conglomerate, this company that like,
Or,
Exxon owns 30%
right.
of or whatever.
Or
We're
let's
going to give them
funnel.
the rights to build solar panels, and we're
Right.
going to give this other company the rights to build
Yeah.
windmills. So it'll just be a giant giveaway to
Right.
giant companies.
Right. Or let's just
Like,
pay Elon Musk a whole bunch of money to come up with all these innovations and
well, I mean,
well,
well, with
something
Elon
along the
though, like
lines. Something
it
along the
won't be
lines.
that. It won't be like that though, because Elon Musk is actually his products are a pretty good deal. At
Uh huh.
least for space stuff. At least like I don't know. It's not that government doesn't really have contracts
Mm-hmm.
for like solar panels and all, so I don't know what those how that would compare. But he's the reason he's taken over so much of the market is because he has a good price. I mean, a lot of that has to do with the way he treats his workers, but
Right.
there's value in his products. So yeah, if he got the contracts for it, that would probably be our best bet at this point, just because there's nobody else that is at that scale that can
Mm-hmm.
provide the stuff that we need.
Yeah. Now,
Um,
um,
like a SpaceX rocket launch is like a fourth of the price that they were paying before they came around. If you have to
right.
pay Lockheed for a rocket launch, it's like close to 200 million. If you do it on a Falcon 9, it's like 50 million. Like that's he severely undercut the rest of the competitors. But I mean, I don't know. Like I said, I don't know if he's as good when it comes to like solar panels and batteries. But I'm sure just because of the scale he's operating at, I'm sure he's got pretty good prices.
Right. So okay. So this is the. I think this is probably the most reasonable position from like this kind of tweet. And I wish this was more commonplace, but here you go. Dr. Jill Stein coined the Green New Deal in 2016. Then AOC popularized it in 2018, and Bernie Sanders took it to the mainstream conversation on climate policy in 2020. We all three of them, are debt of gratitude for what they've done. I mean, is that difficult? I mean, is that hard? Did that break any?
What?
Did
What'd you
that?
say again?
So yeah, like let me put the tweet again. There you go. Dr. Stein coined the Green New Deal in 2016. AOC popularized it in 2018, and Bernie Sanders took it to the mainstream conversation on climate policy in 2020. And we owe all
Yeah,
three of them a debt of gratitude for what they've done.
exactly.
I mean, did that? I don't know that strain anybody's muscles to go
No,
and admit, you know,
yeah. So I'm
that.
saying nobody has to like. Everybody wants the edgy take, the badass, like I'm anti, establishment. Everybody wants to have that take and not the
Yeah.
take that's most nuanced and reasonable and, descriptive, right?
Right.
Like that kid had that's what happened. Like those are the facts, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why
Yeah.
anybody
And
has to.
look,
The only reason they would distort it is for personal reasons.
and look, it would be cool to see AOC come out and maybe take a more open position on someone like Edward Snowden getting a pardon, or Julian Assange, or any of these hot button issues that a lot of lefties like to go and talk about.
What has
But
she said about those guys? Has
I mean,
she said anything
the
about
only
them?
thing I really read about it was when she said that Chelsea Manning deserves to get released. So she was all part of that whole apparatus in terms of government whistleblowers and stuff. But um, as far as Assange and Snowden, she's been quiet on that. But
Huh.
I'm sure that if there was a pardon on the table for Snowden, I don't think she'd be out there saying, "Oh, he's a spy, and he deserves to go to trial."
No, I mean, yeah, she should probably be better on those on that because whistleblowers, like, that's a big issue
Mm-hmm.
and it's important. But like I said, the house is on fire. Like everything is so fucked up right now. Like we have nobody fighting for anything decent. Everybody, 99% of the elected officials are just enriching themselves and their friends and preparing for like how they're going to capitalize on their position when they get out of office. That's what we're dealing with. To have anybody who fights for the working class at all, who fights for what's good for the world at all, is a good thing, and we should be happy about that. And pick our battles. Like we have limited opportunity in the spotlight, or AOC does at least. Like they have limited opportunities to make these policy goals. They have to pick their lane, kind of. They have to sort of make do
Now,
with what they can.
now the
You
other
know,
thing that AOC caught a lot of flack over was that she said that if and Nancy Pelosi is the most progressive option in the House, and she would support her for Speaker.
she said if she was
Yeah.
right. Yeah, I think that's a diplomatic way to say I won't be supporting it, right?
Yeah, I think that's exactly. I mean, that's what I'm thinking here too. If she's the most progressive option, I'll support her. I mean, what?
Yeah.
That's a. It's what you said.
What do
It's
you
a
want her to
diplomatic.
say?
No, fuck Nancy Pelosi. That's what everybody. That's what all these edgelords want her to say. Come on, nah, fuck
Yeah,
Nancy Pelosi. She's a piece of shit.
it's bizarre because like we saw what
What?
happened like when she first came in and she was protesting at her office and all of that. They were just shitting on her at every opportunity and not
From
taking her
both.
seriously and just
Right.
marginalizing her as much as they could. And then the last year or so, since she's been playing nicer with them, they've given her much more of a spotlight. I mean,
It's harder to
not
keep.
that they've given her anything, but
No, but it's
they've
harder to demonize her from the Democratic side.
exactly.
And it gets more shit libs that would never vote for her because she endorsed Bernie on her side. Because
Yeah,
guess
it's
what?
messaging.
Right. When she goes and she runs for a higher office at some point, because let's face it, she is.
Hmm.
She's gonna have more of those libs that wouldn't vote for Bernie vote for her.
Yeah, exactly. I think
Yeah,
that's the
and
same with the mama bear thing, man. It's
right,
like,
call her Mama Bear. I don't give a fuck. Give me the Green New Deal. Do it.
yeah, exactly. Like, I
Go.
think she's learning how to do that effectively, right? Like,
It's what you said it really well before on one of the past shows. She's doing Elizabeth Warren's game, but actually meaning the policies. Because like, the
but
second that she
she's
backs
doing it
off,
competently.
yes. So the second that she would back off on Medicare, if she goes and turns around Medicare for all and in favor of a public option or some other kind of bullshit where she backtracks, yeah, then at that point you criticize her because that is a backtrack. That isn't what you were put in office to do. That isn't
And
what you've been championing.
if she was doing politics like Howie Hawkins or Ryan Knight are doing politics, she wouldn't be on TV.
Exactly.
You
Look at
know?
what she's getting. She has elevated her platform so much, and thankfully the right has tried to make her into some kind of leftist boogie woman over here, and all it's doing is helping the it's helping her push these policies that we all say we want and are our priorities. It's just helping those things move forward.
Some people just want their personal purity, I guess. I mean,